Hi everyone, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on two-step equations with decimals and fractions. This is going to seem intimidating. I'm not sure if your teacher allows calculator or not. I may use them just for simplicity's sake, but I'll just try my best to show you that it's doable even without a calculator. Let's look at this, and we see that we have m over 9 plus 2/3 equals 7/3. It looks really ugly, but let's break it down. There's a couple keys here. So step one, we want to identify operations on variable side. So if we're looking at m here, that's our variable, we see that we have division, dividing by 9, and then we also have addition. We're adding 2/3. That's it. Okay, so that's the important thing. So we kind of already identified what's happening on the variable side. Second, we're going to apply the inverse operation. So I just said that we got division, so we're going to apply multiplication, and then we have addition, so we're going to apply subtraction. So those are the two operations that we're going to be doing to get m by itself, to isolate it. Okay, so there's that one. We got that one sorted out. And then we're going to solve in reverse PEMDAS. This is the one that kind of trips people up. Generally, that's not always, but most two-step problems are going to have you do plus or minus first. That's going to be your first step. And then your second step is going to be multiplication or division. Okay? And that's just because we have to go in reverse order of operations. If we're going to undo the operations taking place to our variable, then we have to go in reverse. Now, it's not always plus or minus first, because there might be instances where we have parentheses, and there's addition in this parentheses and so forth. But in this case, and I'm assuming most of these cases, we're going to do addition, subtraction first, and then move on from there. Okay, now let's kind of rewrite this just because I made a mess of this situation, but we've already gone over all three keys to solving this problem. Okay, so my first step, I already identified my two operations, but again, I'm going in reverse order, so I'm going to start with my subtraction. I'm going to subtract 2/3 from both sides. Now, what happens is, if we have 2/3 and then we subtract 2/3, it cancels out. That's the whole point in doing inverse operations, is they will cancel each other out, and we're going to be just left with m over 9 on the left side. Now, on the right side, we have to apply our operation here. We have to actually do this problem, 7/3 minus 2/3. Well, when we have 7 over 3 minus 2 over 3, they have the same denominator, so we keep that the same. And then we just subtract the numerator, so we get 5/3. Next up, we have division. We already said, okay, we're done with the subtraction. Now we have to do the opposite division, which is multiplication. What do we multiply by? We're going to multiply by 9, because that's what's happening to m, is we're dividing by 9. So we're going to do the opposite, which is multiply by 9. That cancels that out on the left side. 9 divided by 9, we're going to be left with just m. Okay, and then on the right side, I like to always, if I have a fraction, like make the number I'm multiplying also a fraction. So then I have top times top, 9 times 5 in the top, that's 45. Bottom times bottom, 3 times 1 in the bottom, that's 3. So 45 over 3, but that can be reduced if we divide the top and bottom by the same number, and we get 15 over 1, or just 15. So m equals 15. We could check our answer by actually substituting 15 in for m, and you'd see that you'd get that result. Okay, but 15 is our answer. Okay, moving on. All right, couple things going on here. I said we're going to apply that system most of the time. Well, guess what? We got parentheses. So if we're doing SADMAP, sorry, I messed up my D. Let me change that. Okay, if we're applying SADMAP, means inverse order of operation. Generally, we're going to do addition and subtraction first. Okay, but look, it's in parentheses. Because it's in parentheses, we're going to handle that last. Okay, so we're actually going to do the multiplication division before we get to that subtraction right there, because it's inside parentheses. So that's just kind of like a quick disclaimer. Parentheses is going to change the order in which you do things. We still need to identify what's happening to our variable. So what's happening to it? We are doing subtraction. Okay, so what's the inverse? Oops, I forgot my N. What's the inverse of subtraction? Well, we're going to do addition to undo it. And then what else is happening? There's this 15 out in front of the parentheses. That means 15 times. So we got multiplication. I don't know why I decided to write it out. So we're going to do division to undo it. Okay, so those are the two operations we're going to do. And we're going to go in reverse order. So we're going to start with the multiplication. Again, because the subtraction is inside parentheses, and parentheses is last. So let me rewrite this. We got 12 equals 15 times the quantity z minus 1/5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 15. When I just show that line like that, that's my divide symbol. Okay, I know it's like, oh, you made it a fraction. That just means divide. And what happens is I divide that, and I'm left with just 12 over 15 on the left side. For now, I'm going to leave it. It's ugly, but I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm just going to do this. Okay, minus 1/5. Now, I notice here that I have 15 and I got 5. So I want those denominators to match because what's my next step? Well, my next step is I need to undo the subtraction by doing addition. So I'm adding now to undo that subtraction. So I'm going to plus 1/5 to both sides. Plus 1/5. That will undo that. And then I'm left with just z on my right side, okay? And then on my left side, I got 12 15s plus 1/5. That's what I was saying, like, oh, I got to get that 15 to match that 1/5 if possible, or that 1/5 to match 15. Well, I can do it one of two ways. I can multiply this one to be just 3 over 15. That might be the easiest thing. So let's do that. Or I could have reduced this one. So I could reduce 12 over 15, dividing the top and bottom by 3. So I'm just going to stick with the 3 over 15 that I'm adding. Okay, and I'm going to ignore this one now. So I have the denominator stays the same with 15, and then 12 plus 3 in the top just gives me 15 over 15. That's equal to 1. So z equals 1 is my answer. So I'm going to type in 1. And there we go. Next question. Oh my gosh, fractions again. Can we get a break from the fractions? All right, let's identify what's happening to our variable. Variable's on the right side. We are dividing. So guess what we're going to do to undo it? We're going to multiply. And then what else we got going on? We got subtraction. So how am I going to undo that? Well, I am going to use addition. Okay, so I'm going to go in reverse order. So I'm going to start with my addition, and then go up to my multiplication. So let's start by adding 10/3 to both sides. That's how I undo the minus 10/3, so I add 10/3. Now, negative 1 over 3 plus 10 over 3. Let me show you what that looks like. Plus 10 over 3. Rewrite as much as you need to, and I'm left with j over 4 on the right side. So I have the denominator stays the same, and then I have negative 1 plus 10, that equals 9, and that's j over 4. Okay, 9 over 3, you should recognize that 9 over 3 is the same thing as 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. You reduce it by dividing the top and bottom by the same thing, by 3. Equals j over 4. I already said I need to multiply next. I'm done with that step. So now I need to multiply both sides by 4. That's how I undo divide by 4, is multiplying by 4. And a quick refresher on why that works. If I have j over 4 times 4, that could be written as 4j over 4. Well, 4 over 4 is equal to 1. 1j is the same thing as j. So that's like that weird progression. I just like to think of it as, okay, it undoes the divide by 4 when you multiply by 4. That's easier. So j equals 4 times 3 is 12. So my answer is 12. See, we don't need a calculator, do we? I haven't used a calculator one time. I've got it ready next to me, but we haven't used it yet. More fractions. Okay, I'm hoping for a decimal soon so you guys can see those types. Okay, so we got a couple options here with this problem. One, we could do what I said earlier, and we could divide by 3, okay, and have our answer there. But I want to show you and then we would subtract after that. That's one way to do it, okay, because I got multiplication. I got this stuff in parentheses. We handled the stuff in parentheses last, so I could divide both sides by 3. Okay, and then go from there. Another way to do this problem, though, is to use the distributive property. If I have a number out in front, I can multiply by both things on the inside of the parentheses. So let me show you what that looks like. If I multiply it by the inside of the parentheses, I get 3 times q. That's equal to 3q. And then 3 times 4/3, and that equals 2. Well, let's simplify this further. So 3q plus 12 over 3, because again, I make this over 1, and I do top times top, bottom times bottom, and then it equals 2. So 12 over 3, I know let's simplify this further. This is equal to 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I could divide the top and bottom to reduce, and then we have this much simpler looking two-step equation. Okay, so from here, I could solve it. And that's what I'm going to do, okay? So I just redid how it looked. You can absolutely do it the other way where you divide by 3 first, but I just wanted to show you this method. I'm going to subtract by 4, okay? Essentially, you're going to handle stuff furthest away from the variable first. That's another way I've had someone describe it to me is the variable's right here. 3 is right next to it. We want to handle stuff that's far away from it first. So I subtract 4 from both sides. That cancels out. I get 3q equals 2 minus 4 is negative 2. I divide by 3 to both sides, and I get q equals negative 2/3. And that's my answer, okay? So kind of a different way to do it, but you get the same result as if you would have divided by 3. So now I can show you what that looks like. If you would have divided by 3 first, cancels, we're left with q plus 4/3 equals 2/3. And then I subtract by 4/3. And then 2/3 minus 4/3 is negative 2/3. So you get the same thing, just a different way to do it. Okay, so I need to make a fraction, first negative, and then 2/3. Oh my goodness, 3 more questions. Here we go. Decimal, there we go. Finally, I was waiting for this guy. All right, here's how we do this one. Same process, okay? Even though it doesn't matter if it's fraction, whole number, whatever, we are going to handle inverse operations, so we're going to subtract first for this one because we got addition, 0.6. If we have multiplication and addition, we're going to handle the subtraction or the addition first by doing the inverse, which is subtracting. I get 1.4 if I subtract equals n over 5. How do I undo the divide by 5? I'm going to multiply by 5 here. Cancels. Again, if you're using a calculator, I would just type in 1.4 times 5. I'm going to show you how to do it without. So I'm going to just go like this, stack it. That's 27 decimal, it's 7. So n equals 7 is my answer, okay? Because I get this, and that equals 7, and that cancels out, leave me just n on the left. So 7 is my answer. There's our decimal. Finally, we got it, huh? All right, more fractions, of course. Fractions are kind of more intimidating for most people. Here we are. We're going to just do it. Again, we got 2 solutions here, 2 options. We can either divide by 7 or we can distribute first. I'm going to divide by 7 because you probably saw that that was fewer steps. So I'm going to divide by 7 to both sides because we see that we have multiplication here by 7. So we do the opposite operation and it cancels out. So I have negative 3 over 7 equals y minus 9 over 7. You'll notice that I kind of dropped the parentheses. The reason why I dropped the parentheses is because there's nothing outside the parentheses anymore, so we don't need them. So we have y minus 9 over 7, okay? I need to do the opposite of minus 7, which is add 7 to both sides. That will undo that. I'll have y by myself. That was the whole goal. I have y on its own on the right side. And now I have 9 over 7 minus 3 over 7. Okay, that's the same thing as negative 3 over 7 plus 9 over 7. That equals 6 over 7. No jokes here. So I'm just going to circle my answer, and I'm going to type in my answer. I'm hoping this joke is going to get phased out real soon. But if you're watching this, you might understand. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just a dreamer. Okay. We have 2 more. Oh, this is our last one. Perfect. So we only had 1 decimal. That's disappointing, but we're going to apply the same process here. We're going to subtract 1/4 from both sides. Okay, that undoes that. We're left with negative 4c equals 5/4 minus 1/4 is just 4 over 4, which is equal to 1 equals negative 4c. Now I divide by negative 4 to both sides. Make sure you divide by negative here. Don't just divide by a positive. You're going to get a wrong answer. You have to divide by that whole thing that's being multiplied, because anytime you have a number next to a variable, it's implied multiplication. So we have to do the opposite, which is divide by that same number that's in front being multiplied. Okay? All right, just wanted to make sure. I have students make that mistake all the time. So c equals, that cancels, equals negative 1 over 4. And that's our final answer, negative 1 over 4. That's our final answer for our final question. We got all of them right. I hope you guys appreciated this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on West Explains Best.